Happy Friday, friends. Welcome, April 14th, 2023. Come on in, get yourself settled. We got a hot one today. We're going to talk about some high-level stuff. We're going to get you caught up with things we've learned in the last week or so. I was at Perry Belcher's AIBOT Summit in Las Vegas with my man, Rob Tillman. Hey, Rob, what's up, buddy? Good to see you.
How's it going?
Good, man. You guys don't know Rob quite yet, but you will be getting to know him soon. He's now a partner in my business, and I'm thrilled to have him. He brings a ton of high-level experience and super sharp guy. Thanks for being here, Rob. Good to see you, bud.
All right. Great to be here.
So to summarize what we're going to talk to today, and please, everybody, make sure that your chat is clicked on everyone so everyone can see you, and say hi to each other and tell everybody where you are today, where you're tuning in from, so we can all get close like family, which is what we're all about here in Copy Chief. Now, so there we are, Rob and I at Perry Belcher's event, and frankly, I went there because I wanted to download on what's happening, what's the latest, what's the future with AI in our world. And I know that Perry is a high-level thinker. He's super connected, and he's a doer. He doesn't think about stuff. He gets his fingers in the pie, so to speak. And he did not disappoint. Just in the very beginning, the first session of the first day, there were some revelations that really set a frame for me. A couple things I want to share. Here's my analogy for what we're facing in this industry and what's happening to us and with us, to give you some perspective. Essentially, man, there is a giant wave that we can all see, and it's just beginning to curl at the top. And majority of people who see this giant wave are thinking, oh, damn, I'm about to drown. And the other half of people are saying, oh, damn, where's my surfboard? Okay. And I'm here to tell you that everybody on this call right now owns a surfboard. Dig this. Out of the 8 billion people roaming this planet, there are only 11 million users on ChatGPT right now. Okay, that's 0.03 of the human population. Of those people, of that same data set, 0.005 of the people walking this planet are paying to use ChatGPT and other tools. Okay, so when I tell you the fact that you're thinking about it, you're knowing about it, you're learning about it, hopefully you're dabbling in it, that's your surfboard. You're way ahead of this wave. I'm talking to people every day now who are just starting to get cozy with these tools and their capabilities, and fireworks are going off in their brain about all the different ways that they can utilize it in their work, to help their clients, and even outside of the industries they're familiar with. For instance, just this morning, I don't know if Brenna happened, Brenna's not here, but Brenna McGowan, who's a member of our super group, told me that she's helping her husband, who was just pinned and passed, certified as a fireman on a Native American reservation, and they, because of that, they need to do about 20 different reports every year, and firemen didn't sign up to write reports. And so in minutes, Brenna sat down with her husband, logged into ChatGPT, and told it what it needed, what the fire department needed written, and it spit out in minutes what her husband said just took them days to assemble. Okay, so she's now going to give a training and potentially be hired as a consultant to help them use these tools to make their lives a whole lot better and more efficient, so they can be out saving lives instead of sitting in front of a laptop, right? That's just one small example of when you start to understand how powerful this is and how much things have changed in a very short amount of time, and the capabilities that are ahead of us. You as an entrepreneur, as a server of clients, as a seer of gaps, can immediately start to see all the leverage you have by being on the surf side of this wave. Rob, I know you have some.
Ooh, man, it was an incredible week we had there. Two major takeaways just from the presentation, not getting into any of the tools or trying to define out what we're going to speak about here, but just to frame it for everybody. One stat just blew my mind. And that stat was, we're all granted now with AI superpowers. And if you had an army of 10,000 super smart soldiers that were willing to do your bidding 24/7 for pennies on the dollar, what would you have them do? Would you have them do menial tasks, or would you take on the world? Would you have them incrementally work with you, or would you explode your business? And that really resonated with me. And I thought about all the people we have in Copy Chief and how they can use this to their advantage. And it's going to blow the doors off everything.
Yeah. So to catch you up a little with what I'm already doing, thanks to some fortuitous coming together that Rob and I had with a friend of mine named Matt Lights, who is the founder of Bot Builder. They built the API onto ManyChat, which Messenger, I believe, is fueled by. Yeah. And so high level stuff. Matt is, I can say the name, right, Rob?
Yep, you can.
So he is building a tool called Automator. In fact, it's already built. Version 1 is just about done. And man, how would you in a nutshell describe what Automator does? It's just the most user-friendly possible way to harness the power of ChatGPT. Yeah.
The easiest way to put Automator. So Kev, myself, and Matt stayed in a room working on what this thing could be. And over the past week, Matt and I have been designing out and programming what it's going to be in real life. And we actually put some finishing touches on it last night. Automator is the easiest to use AI tool for anybody in our world. It allows you to not have to worry about learning all the other tools. There are literally hundreds of tools coming out every day, and it's getting really confusing. What we wanted to do is build something that allowed our community to get the goodness of everything coming out in AI in one place, in one simple way, that all they have to do is ask it questions. So how ChatGPT, you're asking it with prompts, this thing has no prompts. This thing has no learning curve. If you can just read a question and answer it, it puts together everything that you need.
Right. So the way the light bulb I had when Matt was giving us a demo was, think of a freelance copywriter. Now, we were hired to do a project. The first thing we need to do is what? Get with our client and get all of our questions answered and get caught up to speed about their market, their product history, their avatars, their success stories, right? And so now this interacting with Automator is just like having that conversation with your client, except Automator sort of playing the role of you, not so we can write the copy, so that you can build a custom knowledge base inside of OpenAI per project that understands everything. Basically, you're thinking in real time, not only aids your thinking in your research, but it's keeping a file of what develops. So imagine just that alone. Every time you probably have 2 or 3 clients, you're jumping from client to client, you got to find the doc, you got to start opening stuff, you got to get your brain caught up. Instead of that, you log in, it's already there, it's waiting for you, it's ready to help you collaborate and create. So the efficiency is over the top. Now, on top of that, what we're going to do, working with Matt and his team, is we're going to be able to take everything, myself, my co-coaches, my guest experts, and all of the brilliant copywriters that have been a part of this community over 8 years, and put it inside bigger knowledge base. So all of a sudden, every framework, every formula, everything you would want to use that you've learned in Copy Chief is at your fingertips, right? So let's just take the 4x6, for example. If you guys know the 4x6 copywriting formula, it's been my most used and popular program since I created it back in, I think, 2015. It is probably, the most proven framework for writing any ad. And if you just look at the 4x6 and you take the 4 things that, what I call the essential questions, because these are questions that any prospect brings to a proposition, and whether they realize it or not, they have an open loop about these 4 things. And if you don't answer and address those things in the copy, they will not buy. Their brain will not let them buy because something feels off, right? So we start with those 4, and then we have 6 accelerators that make the sale more urgent, more persuasive. It explains the value. It's stuff that we all use every single time we sit down to write an ad, either instinctively or because we have it in a framework somewhere. So to sit down and start any ad, the first thing you'd want to do is fill out the 4x6, just answering these simple questions from this API. And the basis of your ad, a first draft, is now done for you. And again, saved in a data set for that client, right? That you can go back to, pick up right where you left off, and sort of educate it along with you about this client and about what it is you're writing for them. We're talking about emails. We're talking about landing pages, YouTube video scripts, Facebook ads, every pertinent thing you could need to write for a single client. You're no longer, the idea of saying, "Ooh, well, I don't really do that." Yes, you do. Yes, you do that, because all you have to do is tell Automator that that's what you're writing, and you're off and running. And there's no such thing as a copywriter not knowing how to write a thing. It's just that they haven't yet, or they're not sure where to start. So suddenly you write everything. You're not going to have any. Now, plus you have the community. If you ever feel, I'm not sure, maybe this is too much like what the bot would write, and I want to make sure it's me, you bring it for a review, and now you have other humans, helping you make sure it's right. So you have a start, you have accelerated production, and you have the confidence to know that real copywriters are backing you up. It's game changer. It's nobody writes alone taken to the 100th power.
And you really hit on something. I want to make sure everybody really understood one of the things that's important in there. So a lot of people are coming up with copywriting tools, and their tools, of course, are better than the layperson in what they give out. But what we're designing is this thing that is a converting thing. When your clients, for a freelance copywriter, it's really make or break when it comes down to how good the copy converts. It's not about pretty words, it's about words that drive them to take some sort of action. And a lot of the tools are like what prompted us to really do this. Remember, we were talking about, well, there are a lot of things that are coming out with copywriting. And we looked at the copy, and yes, it's decent. But we looked at our frameworks, and we looked at everything that happens, and that this copy wouldn't convert. Somebody's going to put that copy that comes out of ChatGPT, they're going to throw it on a page, they're going to throw it in an email, they're going to do a YouTube video, they're going to use a Google ad, they're going to do something with this, and it will not move the needle. So we looked at what could we do better, and by designing in the logic and the frameworks, then it is things that will convert. And that's the main objective for everybody, is it's copy that's tested and it's proven, and it's going to be able to convert because it uses the whole entire community of true copywriters to get what they're best at doing, which is get out this creative idea and frame it in a way that persuades people to take an action. One other thing that we were talking about a lot is it's not just about getting this in an easier format. It's about doing all the research. We're building all the tools to make sure that it does all the research for you, that it digs deep, it gets proof points. It allows you to just really focus on servicing your client. And what that normally means, we're just going to translate it to what it is more clients and more dollars for people inside the Copy Chief community, because they have this tool that makes them a super copywriter instead of a copywriter that's limited to what the tools they had before.
Exactly right. Gregory asked a great question. Is Automator going to cost over and above the cost of Copy Chief membership? No. It's going to be a part of membership at the current price. Everybody who's currently a member of Copy Chief will get this. In fact, I want people raising their hands and be the early adopters, because as anything, we'll need testers. We want to find anything. We want to find the limitations of this thing as quickly as possible, because it's the power of our community that are going to make this thing untouchable. All of you using it, giving feedback, learning other uses for it that we didn't even think of is the beauty of it. And so we are happy to provide this to you as members of Copy Chief. And
they don't even, and Kev, they don't even realize like what this thing would cost. So when we were working with the group that builds this out, and when they sell these type of applications, then what we're pulling into our community and what they're going to have access to is something that people would normally pay $500 to $1,000 a month to have. So that's literally going to be something that people in Copy Chief have is this thing, this incredible tool, by being a part of the community, that if they had to go out on their own and get it, it would be between $500 a month. Again, that's $6,000 a year, all the way up to $12,000 a year, depending on how many of the tweaks that we put into this thing. So I think that's really incredible. And it says a lot about you and making sure that you were looking out for the community.
Thanks, buddy. Well, for me, like there was a moment sitting there with, in fact, this was my overriding sensation all day long as Rob and Matt and I sat in my hotel suite and hammered this thing out. Order wine, order coffee, order wine, order coffee. I think at one point I had a glass of each in both hands. It was a true creative brainstorm session. And my overriding feeling the whole day was, wow, everything we've been creating suddenly has a whole new purpose. And instantly, everybody, and I would love to hear if some of you are feeling this way. I have a sense that the old way of learning and doing just suddenly feels a bit archaic, because we know, maybe not immediately, but soon, these things are going to be automated and built in, and we just need to learn how to use them. Now, you can go start doing that with ChatGPT on your own right now. And I suggest you do. If you haven't been playing with it, it's time to just go tinker around. Don't be outside of the 0.03% of the global population who's way behind on this thing already. You don't even need to pay to use it. Just start learning its capabilities and how it works for you. And
then we can actually put some, I'm sorry, Kev, but I was saying we can put a little bitty training together for people to understand the ChatGPT, some simple prompts, and we can put that into the community. We'll build a little thing for that so they can play with it on the free version. And then they'll be able to see actually the difference between having these frameworks built into it as well. I see an interesting one from Cami. Cami says, if we're using Copy Chief AI for clients, will that information remain private to each copywriter, or does everything get shared on the platform? The answer is it is private. When you're doing your session, then the outputs for your session are going to be put into your pod for what this thing does. We're building it out where everybody will have their own individual logins. They'll have their ability. It's not just a tool everybody's going into. You have your own, what's called an instance of this thing, and you'll be able to modify it. And we're talking about to the word. One of the things that a limitation ChatGPT asks right now is if there's a problem with the output, you have to regenerate the entire output. what we're able to do is you're able to isolate a word and say, no, just change this word, or keep this section, change this section. So we're able to isolate exactly what we want to change in our instances. And that is downloadable for you. If you've ever played with ChatGPT, you find that it's not really useful in pulling the information out. You copy it, you paste it into something that's this ugly gray box. Ours allows you to download it, put it into any other kind of application, and we'll work out some other things that are going to make it super useful for our community as well. Hopefully that answered the question.
It's a great answer, Rob. And Gregory, man, I love every question you're asking. It's like, yes, it's so important that you asked that, Gregory. Will this software be continually updated? And that's the beauty of it, everybody. Here's what it was. Every single person talking about ChatGPT say and know to be true. It's going to keep changing, and it's going to keep changing fast. At Perry's event, he was selling tickets to the next one he's doing in September. And he said, buy a ticket because everything we learn here is probably going to be irrelevant by then. Okay. Even he was saying, I'm about to download on you for 3 days, but it's going to be good for about a month. So here's the thing with Automator, it's plugged into sort of a customized version of OpenAI ChatGPT. So whether it's GPT-4, 5, 6, whatever comes our way, it's already working through that system behind the scenes. And we, Matt has an incredible dev team. They'll be making sure any adjustments that need to be made will be made in the background. And so all you have to do is log in to the interface that you know and love, and know that the power of everything that's out there is working behind it.
Yep, totally. Understanding that it is being built specifically because we want it as a system in our community for our members. Then it's built future-proofed for all the different AI tools that are coming out. We're building it so it's integratable for all the different tools. So again, one tool, one place, so you don't have to keep learning new tool after new tool after new tool after new tool. I see a good question from Emma. So Emma says, I think the only issue of being 100% reliant on ChatGPT database for research is that it scrapes information that isn't always correct. You need to understand what you're looking at, especially if you're relying on it to build out a brand. I love that, because one of the things that we're ensuring that it does is, again, we're using always the latest, greatest data sets, and we're also able to build up these frameworks. So it's not just grabbing random information. What we're giving background prompts, we're giving background foundations. And one of the things I work with Matt and the team is building out this thing called the playground. And in this playground, we put the things that put parameters to make sure it doesn't do what's called hallucinations, which is what she's talking about, where it comes up with incorrect information. We're able to exclude those and push those things out of the output that we get.
Exactly right. One more super relevant thing that I haven't even announced yet to the community. I'm really honored and thrilled to tell you that Sam Woods has agreed to come on as our official advisor on AI copywriting inside of Copy Chief. Now, I want to be clear, that doesn't mean that Sam still won't be producing his own newsletter and the AI workshop, which is, I think, still the standard of understanding AI copywriting in this industry, is his on its own land. We're not taking that under our umbrella, but Sam will be our advisor. And so Sam's sort of there not only to contribute the things he's learning, but to kind of make sure and correct any misnomers or confusion that people have around this tool and how to use it. And so, as always, our goal is to empower you with knowledge, but make your work better, faster, more congruent, give you more confidence to go out and do what we do, which is not easy stuff, just made easier. And so, it is the creative, as I've been saying all along, this is a tool. It's here to aid you. The one thing you're just not allowed to do is ignore it. Pure and simple. I just already, in the capabilities it has, I can very confidently say that there is no way that a copywriter who is ignoring AI could outwork and outproduce a copywriter who's embracing it. I just don't see how it's possible. It happened fast, everybody. We're all a bit shocked.
But we're in the forefront of it, though.
But we're in the forefront of it. And if you get in there and start to understand it, you will quickly see there's no way I could be as good, as fast, as capable, as consistent without it than I am with it. It's fantastic. It's a miracle, guys. We're doing a thing that we understand that was, I mean, it just, like I was saying before, it just feels like the way we were doing everything a few months ago was hard, even though we were used to it. And now it's so much easier, so much better. And the possibilities are unlimited. Cammie, you brought up something about with those stats. Well, everybody in our industry knows about it. Who cares? That's good. That's what they're doing is contributing to the knowledge base. They're making us smarter, because in this fantastic industry that we're in, everybody shares everything they're learning, whether it's because they want an ego stroke or they want to charge a few bucks to learn it, or because they just like to share. People are sharing. There's very little knowledge we can't get access to, and we're unique in this industry for that reason. The amazing opportunity for all of us is to, and you'll see as you start to use Automator and things, my God, I could bring this to other industries. I could bring this to all kinds of clients where I would have had to spend months or years understanding the inner workings of their market. And guess what? Those industries, they don't want to learn this stuff. They don't want to have to worry about marketing and copy and become the experts that they are. Just like now, they're going to hire us to do those things because we know what we're doing, and they don't want to do it. But now we get to do it at, warp speed.
Cammie is becoming my best friend. So Cammie has this, she gave this ChatGPT. There was an article that talked about GPT-3 and human writers, and she's actually making part of our point for us.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, and what we're talking about here, we want to make sure that this is clear. We are not talking about replacing copywriters. We're talking about making super copywriters. The whole objective behind what we're doing with them, bringing this to the community, is being sure that our people are armed and that they're hyper productive. When we think about the challenges that a copywriter faces, two of the biggest challenges that any copywriter faces, and you said one of them, which is consistency. People have a bad day. It happens. With this tool, you get the super strength to be ultra consistent over and over again. It is your fundamental writing. What you write is what you write. We're not taking away what you as a copywriter write. We're not taking away your style, your voice, your tone, your quirkiness, your creativity. What we're doing is we're just amplifying it, because we're building where you're able to be consistent from project to project within what you do best. The other thing is research. We all know the cornerstone of copywriting is a lot of research, a lot of reading, a lot of books, looking at, if you're in financial copywriting or if you're in something that requires a lot of statistics, then having to dig to find these things. One of the things we're also building in it, and one of the things I was looking at even before we got into building this, was understanding how to use this as a research tool, because that's what I did first. I used it primarily not for doing writing. I did it as a research tool, and we're able to grab reports, we're able to grab studies, we're able to grab statistics, we're able to grab all the things that make your copy punchier, stronger, and able to do the most important thing, which I always go back to, copy that converts. So within our community, what we're focusing on is not just the novelty of ChatGPT. We're not letting it replace the human. We're not just saying, oh, all you have to do now is you just flick this thing in and it kicks out this thing. What we're doing is we're allowing every copywriter, I think of them as, we're giving you a cyber suit. And this cyber suit has a helmet that makes you, everything that you've ever learned, you're able to make sure that you don't forget it. This cyber suit gives you X-ray vision, where you're able to look through things, you're able to look deeper into what's behind those things. It gives you ultra arms, which allows you to type faster and do more work, which allows you to get more clients and increase what you're earning. So those are the way we're looking at it. We're not looking at it as in, well, there's no need for your skills. What we're saying is there's more need for your skills than ever, because a lot of people are going to make this big mistake. Remember when we were in that room, we were laughing? One of the things we were laughing about is we were laughing about all the people who think ChatGPT is going to replace copywriters. All the people are going to just put in these prompts and they're going to press a button. It's going to kick out something. And people are going to say, oh my goodness, I can use this. I don't have to hire somebody. They're going to put that on their site. They're going to use that as emails. They're going to put those as ads, and they will not convert. There is still a place for the copywriters who use this tool to be even more valuable than what anybody's ever been before.
That's exactly right. And let me make my statement more specific, Cammie, because I'm with you. Believe me, I will never stop being a champion of creatives. That is my life's work, is to champion creatives, to empower the artists of the world. I'm not saying there's no possible way a person writing who eschews any tech couldn't out convert in some case. But I promise you, if you gave two people, one armed and one unarmed, with ChatGPT, 1 hour to write an ad in an industry that they are new to, and then consistently beat that ad over, say, a week, 2 weeks, a month, I'll put my money down that the human is at a major disadvantage. It's just how it is. And you know, it's the equivalent. Look, this has become such a part of our conversation in our industry. It's not enough anymore to just kind of know about it. You've got to know it and understand it and what it does and what it doesn't do, because it's already, to me, I'm running into less and less people where I have to ask, how you feeling about AI? And it's just, they already have an opinion and they feel empowered. That's more the conversations I have now. It would be the equivalent if you were talking to a savvy client and they said something about a funnel and you were like, yeah, funnels, I've heard of those. I've never like seen one or built one. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go now. You know what I'm saying? It's just part of the nomenclature now. It's here. It's got to be part of your working process. It's just how it is. So that's kind of what I meant by that. Okay, I want to hear from some people, Rob. I love not talking at you, talking to you. Would anybody want to come on and ask a question, give an opinion? Love to hear. Just raise your hand if you want to come on with us and chat. It can even be something outside of AI or this topic. Happy to hear from you. All right, let's talk to Greg. He's been given some great promote to panelist. Gregory Brassil, everybody, is Brazil. Hey, Greg.
Hey.
Good to see you, my man. Where are you?
Yeah.
Where's home?
Minneapolis.
Ah, Minneapolis.
All right.
Spring has sprung. I hope you're enjoying it.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. It just changed from like 30s to 70s in 1 week. It was amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah, getting out on my bike every day. So my big question is, how does this really compare to like Jasper, CopyAI, a dozen or several dozen other
yeah, good question. Go ahead, Rob. I know
I'm paying some fees for some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, we're gonna take away. So there's so many tools, and there are so many tools, and people are paying a lot of fees for different things. And that's our objective, is so people don't have to get a tool and a tool and a tool and a tool. So the easiest way to understand Automator powered by Copy Chief versus some of these other tools is easier to use, more powerful in the vertical that we're in related to copywriting. So a lot of these tools are made to be general tools that touch a lot of different subjects. We're making this highly copy centric and easy for a copywriter. The way that a copywriter thinks, we're even writing the prompts, not prompts, but the questions specific. So how you would go through the process, and processes that we've actually taught you all within Copy Chief. So it's nothing more than just an expansion of the knowledge base that you have, but it gives you greater starting points, deeper research, and the ability to crank out more copy faster.
Well, it sounds fantastic. What about, I do also have a client I have to do content writing for. It's not sales copy. Is that going to be still useful for that?
That was actually the first
all
thing.
Of the above, yes.
The first thing they built it to do was write articles. It was when we got our demo, it was simple, right? And the content was amazing, but it was like, they were thinking about prompts like, okay, write 10 headlines. And we were like, there's a step before that, that we need to train not only the user, but the bot on, which is what needs to be in these headlines that makes the product unique, that is unlike other headlines that can make claims. Because as you know, Greg, a great offer has something unique in it, right? And solves a problem in a unique way, with special, abilities that the competitors don't have. So what we are working with them on is like, let's back up a step and make sure this thing understands what's special about what we're asking it to produce for us. And other softwares that I've seen don't quite do that. It's what kind of went from it's like just the, I think of like magic, because this is kind of magic, right? It's like, all right, 100 years ago, if a guy could guess your card or, pull a rabbit out of a hat, people were like, holy smokes. Well, now you got Chris Angel suspended in midair for 4 days straight or something. And people are like, now that's magic, or, whatever they do in Vegas. And it's, the whole halves of the audience disappears somehow. And you're just like, so it ups the stakes and makes it more dynamic and exciting, specifically for what we do. And again, I can't emphasize enough. Look, I expect copywriters in our curiosity, our high Colby Fact Finder scores, to always want to try out different tools and experiment. I implore you to train ChatGPT your own way and to learn it and play with it. I just want to create something for you that's super easy to use and that is backed up by all the proven stuff that we use in CopyChief. For instance, in the olden days of 6 months ago, I had to put together a training, teach it to you, hope that you paid attention through the whole training, and then hope that you went to implement it, and then hoped later, if you got good results and wanted to use it again, that you'd remember how to get to the training and remind yourself the best parts and then use it over and over again. Now that will literally be sitting at your fingertips, right? And so for me, what's special about ours is that, we're the longest running community. We've had contributors of all levels. The stuff you see in the training dashboard inside of CopyChief is about 20% of the stuff we've created over 8 years. We only give you the most relevant stuff. But now with these capabilities, a lot of those other things can be more relevant because, like we said, it's being updated in real time.
And one of the things, so to answer the question with some very simple bullet points for you, Greg, what we built out so far, I'm going to give you a list, and the list will keep on growing and we'll keep on expanding based upon what people ask us to do. But I'm going to give you a bullet points of the things that we've already built out in the back end of this. We built out articles of all different types and sizes, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google search ads, emails, descriptions of products, how-to articles for how do we do certain things, headline generators, advertising for all different types of medium, just different content ideas, different recommendations of ways to go for an angle. And we even have a thing called Have Fun, which is some random thought, because we're always looking for some unique angle to come up with something. So we are building it so it can actually generate random thoughts where you give it just a single word and it gives you ways to use that, ways to get research into that thing that you may pull into your copy.
We agree. Any other questions? I feel like it feels like we're pitching because Rob and I are so giddy. There's nothing to buy. if you're a member of Copy Chief, you're
That's
soon
right.
going to have this at your fingertips. There's nothing to buy. There is no pitch here. It's just that Rob and I are so geeked because we've been working hard behind the scenes. I mean, it's only been a week and a half since we sat in that room with Matt. I can't believe how fast things are moving. But it was the perfect coming together of tech guys who really get it, who needed copy assurity that we had, and it's just exploded. So thanks for your questions, Greg.
Sure.
Anything else before you go?
Well, the only last thing is, some of these softwares have gone deep into making sure that the AI is not detected. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
Right. Go ahead, Rob.
Yep, we have that. So I saw actually someone else, Bill asked that question related to plagiarism checker, beta URLs and other things. The answer is yes. Our objective is, of course, to do those things. And one of the reasons why those things come up is because the way that the AI model works in the general ChatGPT, by us putting different things in it related to what our restrictions are in our formatting for what it's going to do, then it drives, I'll call it a different output. It's not grabbing what anybody, because the way that some of those checkers work is it says, if I was ChatGPT and I was given just a basic subject, what type of sources would I grab? And it actually uses weighting on subjects and other things. So by us building this tool in this way, what we're doing is we're framing and creating an output. And all it's doing is it's supercharging your output. It's not just an AI generated output.
That makes sense. Let me see your tattoo, Greg. That looks cool. Oh, badass. I like that.
well, I have one tattoo. It goes across my entire back down to my foot.
Oh, really? Wow, very cool.
I have a dragon, and he rests
Did you
his
have
head
like that? Must have took a while, and hopefully it was the same artist.
2 years, same artist.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, it sounds weird, but I hope to see it in person someday. Let's you and me go to the beach. All right, buddy. It's great meeting you. Thanks for the questions, man.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
See you, buddy. All right, great. Tian wants to come on. This is perfect because, as you may know, Rob, you probably don't know Tian too well yet, but he is another of our resident thought leaders on AI. He is a literal data scientist, and so let's get Tian. I'm sure he'll have some great questions.
Great.
Also, a coach in the Escape Velocity program. And a phenomenal guy. And by the way, Escape Velocity, a new live cohort launching May 2nd, I believe, if anybody's interested in that. Hey, Tian, how are you, buddy?
Kevin. Yeah, I don't have a tattoo.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't either, so I guess it's fair. I have to let you on.
First off, I think this is a very compelling use case. Really excited. So it's kind of like a two-part question. I think the first one is, with the same advice on not putting any kind of proprietary information in, so that it doesn't get exposed to the bigger OpenAI instances, sort of thing. That was where I was leading with the question on where would the instances be stored, so that we can kind of be careful with the duty of care of what we do for our clients. So that's kind of like the first question. And then the second question is, how are you doing with the use case of emulating non-expert voices? So our clients may not be celebrities, what is non-celebrity voices, right? But we have to emulate them. So do you have something there to that could help everyone out as well?
Holy moly. I love your questions, Tian, because you are thinking like a true copywriter. You're thinking about somebody who does write for a client. The objective behind the way that this is being structured is, remember, we have a lot of things in our community about voice. We have one of the greatest voice experts within Justin Blackman, and we're using that understanding of how to generate voice. We're understanding how to give different levels of readability, different levels of expression, and a lot of voice in the prompts that we're doing in the background, and what we're doing to drive the actions. Then a lot of the things that Matt and I were working on are tone, voice, reflection of who this is going to sound like, so we can actually mimic the person who's trying to drive it. So it's not generic ChatGPT format information coming out of it, because Anybody who's used it as the default settings, it has a very academic tone to what it writes. So we try to take away that academic tone. We actually even give it, the greatest way to call it is personalities. So we're able to define certain personalities so that, yeah, it doesn't speak of other people. One of the ones I was writing last night was related to professional yet friendly, or friendly yet professional, which are not the same thing. It gives weight to the thing that you're telling it to do first. So when you're telling it friendly yet professional, then it has a homegrown tone, but it makes sure that it gives an authority. As when you tell it that you want it the opposite, which is professional yet friendly, then it's more academic, but it tries to throw in words that kind of soften when it's given the messaging.
Yeah, that's
Tian,
fantastic.
Yep. I think it's very interesting what you said about the instances. Could you elaborate on that a little, or Rob,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, the instances, then yes, I know there's whenever you put into the general ChatGPT model, then it's still trying to learn. So it actually takes the instance of what someone writes and it creates a new data set, and it's helping, because if you're asking it to regenerate, then it says, obviously what I did wasn't great. And it gives you the opportunity to give a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or regenerate. It says, did I give you what you're looking for? And when you give it a thumbs down or a thumbs up, what it's doing is it actually says, oh, well, this is better to train on. And if you say thumbs down, it says, use this to try to avoid. So what he's looking at is the instances where it's logging the outputs. Ours is not kicking on those thumbs up or thumbs down. What we do is we actually just allow this person to get an instance of the data set, and you're able to modify the data set or use the data set. So that data set goes out into the output that we're going to do. You're able to highlight or direct what you want to do with the data set, but we're not trying to track all of those data sets. We're allowing this data set to be a temporary file that keeps on creating this instance until it's what you want, and then you're able to save it. And that actual instance of saving is not saving with ChatGPT, it's saving it into our database set. And it's not a public database set.
Okay, that addresses it. Although we still want to be tell everyone that, I mean, don't put credit card numbers.
Oh, no,
stuff like that, right?
Definitely nothing like that. That's a good idea for us to make sure for the lay person who will start using the tool, we'll give them some guidance. Maybe we'll give a little intro saying, hey, this is what it's doing. And even if you're playing, don't put this type of information in, because yes, it does store this instance of that information. We want to make sure we protect people's data.
Yeah, just some safeguards and some guardrails.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this is great. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Meeting you,
Thanks
Rob.
for everything you do for us. Thanks.
Great. Thanks, Dan.
Okay. Yeah, look, I'll acknowledge this is not a normal chief chat in regards to making it a little more interactive. If anybody has a best thing and you know how to do a best thing, I'd love to have you come on. We can get totally off topic of AI and things here. Best thing is you sharing the best thing you've learned recently, where you learned it, why it was relevant to you. And then we end with an if-then statement to help other people think about how they could use the same thing. And it's a fun little way to put up any good information on social media anytime. It's a great little framework. So if anybody has the best thing, just raise your hand, and love to have you on and come on and share something. But man, like I said, I'm just overwhelmed with excitement. I won't say his name. And believe me, this has been an incredibly quick learning curve for me. I'm tech able. I am not technical. And thank God Rob is, because he's been the perfect conduit between Matt and I as we partner and create these things all together. But man, I am so on fire and excited about everything that's happening, because like I said, this wave, everybody, and we're in front of it. I may not feel that way in our industry because, like Cami said, everybody's talking about it. Everybody seems to be an overnight expert. We are in the minority, everybody. There are a lot of people just starting to discover this, but more and more you hear people out in public. I was walking in the restaurant to meet Rob in Vegas the first night, and the staff was standing around chatting, and one girl was telling the whole group about ChatGPT, and she's like, "You guys don't know ChatGPT?" You know, it was, it was like suddenly everywhere you go, it's the conversation people are having, and so the entire population is going to get very savvy about this very quickly, and we got to stay ahead of it and jump in the trench.
So there was also one question related to the beta list members, and we wanted to give first priority to the people who are coming to the St. Pete event, because we'll have a chance to show it to them, work with them, and get them to understand it, and then we'll open it up to more people in the community. But we want to make sure that those people who are at that event, the Creative Minds event, that they get the first chance to get their hands on it and get to see it in real time with us. So that was a question I saw come through. I want to make sure I answered.
And by the way, I think there are like 2 tickets left. If somebody wanted to come join us, we're taking over a brewery. It's going to be about 35 of us in the room. Sam Woods will be there. Myself, Rob, Rachel Mazza, Lola will be there. Justin Blackman will be there. Brassil Lachlan will be there. It's just going to be a really super fun gathering here in St. Pete for a couple of days. And this is where we'll reveal it. And then it'll go to my coaching groups, the accelerator group and the super group, my 2 levels of coaching. And because those are the people I'm closest to. And like I said, I want to get them playing with it, asking questions, discovering new capabilities, seeing any potential limitations or things that confuse them. Tian certainly will hopefully be using it for us and with us. So that's what it'll be. I can't announce an official date, but this year, Rob, I mean, certainly.
We'll by the end of this year, we'll definitely be to version 2 or 3. We'll have the first version out. We'll get all the group using it and allowing them to tell us what other things they would like integrated or things that they find that are a little quirky, because we want to make sure it's a extremely user-friendly system. Version 2 is making sure that it's ready for the community as a whole within Copy Chief. And we may even get to that 3rd version, which is where we get to some really advanced things. Some of the things that we're talking about working into it that will be only for Copy Chief members. That's other teams. They don't really understand what's going to happen with this thing, because we're building this tool for the copy community. It's not just a general purpose tool.
Yeah. Jay, that is my plan, is to always make it free with membership to Copy Chief. And I'll tell you why. Because I could hand anybody a tool and say, good luck. Like I said, the power of what we're creating is the community, is the users, is the conversations we have about it together. That's what's going to make it the best thing out there, because other people, are doing the traditional thing of let's build a thing and hope people buy it. And then we'll build another thing and hope they buy that and call it. This is one thing that we're building that we want to keep building and building and building. It will update and optimize in real time, thanks to our members. So yes, my goal will always be to make it free. This is not a money grab. This is a revolution. You see, so it's because of the community that this has me so excited. It's only going to get better as we all use it.
And just making sure that they understand the scope of how much we're incorporating this thing. We keep talking about ChatGPT, but what we're designing, we're taking a list of almost 100 of the best tools that are out now, and we're trying to figure out how we can incorporate those things. We're talking about things related to imagery. We're talking about things related to just not the copy, but super deep dive research tools, summary tools, ways to actually, I'll just give them one of the things that our objective will be.
Okay.
We want this to be the brainchild and the business center for people who are freelancing. So people who are freelancing, there's a lot of menial tasks that they have to do too. They're invoicing clients, they're following up with clients, they're sending out proposals. We're actually working to try to build into it functionality that actually allows them to not only do copywriting, but to run their business of freelance copywriting.
Contracts, agreements, scheduling. Imagine again, this was my dream before this happened, and even before Rob came in, Rob's just been amazing in helping me. Rob is, as you can hear, is Mr. Yes, and here's how. So, it's like one step better than improv. It's not yes and, it's like yes and here's how. And my BHAG, as we call it, the big, hairy, audacious goal, was simply, I want to be, to freelancers, I want to create their work environment. I want to be their office. And because when they get there, and all they have to do is open their laptop and log in to be at their office, and everything they could need to do their best work is in front of them, right? You've got your projects all segmented with reminders, you've got now the power of all these frameworks and everything. And so projects are developing in real time. You've got access to frameworks that you can fill out so quickly for sending proposals, agreements, know the latest prices that people are charging for things. And you've got your prospecting sheets. Hey, remind me who I need to follow up with today that I've been talking to about work. And you've got fresh leads, because that's another thing we provide like nobody else can on Copy Chief, right? We're the only community where people pay to post their ads in front of copywriters because they know they're going to meet great people. So imagine all you had to do was log in, and it's not just a community. It's not just a training dashboard. You don't have to search around for all the goodness that's in Copy Chief that I couldn't even find 20% of it if I had to. And I've been here since day one. It's all there at your fingertips, waiting for you, updated, ready to serve you, so that I never have to worry that you're going to feel alone or forget something you learned that would have made the difference in closing a deal or any of that stuff. It's just right there in front of you. That's been my dream for about a year or so for what Copy Chief can become. And it's just now really possible.
2 things are in here. Tian said, please make it do my taxes and give me a good refund. We're making no promises, but there's something about that. There are actually accounting modules and other things we're working on that, do you know right now, there are actually accountants and lawyers who are being beat by the bot, because both of those are based upon rules and based upon functions and fundamentals. And there are things that we can do to make sure that we are helping out our community in these areas of, again, running their business as well. There's another question that says, when are we going to have access? Like we told, just in 2 weeks from now, then we have our St. Pete event, and we're going to make sure that that group of people test and play and get some feedback. Depending on that feedback is when we're going to roll out to the next groups and the next groups. And we're going to make sure we get through the whole community with at least being able to touch and play with this tool as fast as possible. Let's see. Yes, I said the problem with the tax code, it changes each year, and that's the whole reason why fundamental things like this are helpful. To give us the rates, love innovation, super exciting. Our objective is to build, just think of it this way. Don't think of it as a tool. One of the greatest ways to embrace what this will be for the entire community is a system. Just like Kev said, you're running your freelance copy business and you're in the different phases of the freelancer journey. And this is a tool, this is a system that allows you to move through those phases more seamlessly. It is going to grow with you. When you're just looking at client work, this helps you with clients. When you're starting to build your own offers or build your own business, this is your business center. It actually, part of the functionality is like CRM, funnel building, other things that allow you to build out your business, not just your client's business.
Right. Everything from saying, okay, I've decided that I'm going to do one Facebook or Instagram video every week to promote my business. Type in Instagram authority content frameworks, and I'll spit out 4 or 5 different little quick formulas you could fill out and have a script ready for that video, right? Just everything's possible. And that's why, again, it just lights me up, because look, teaching this stuff, creating it, inventing it is a joy that I've had for 8 years. The only thing that's frustrating is we're all human and we all forget that we already know how to do the thing we're trying to do. And so then we go searching to find it, or we do a subpar version of something because we forget that we have a better way. That's not going to happen anymore.
Every day you have your best day. Keith said something really interesting. Said best thing is basically this interface will make the entire CopyChief membership pay for itself. We want it to pay for itself and then some. Our objective is to make sure that this community is the community that copywriters around the world know is taking care of them. That we're not trying to nickel and dime them, that we're not trying to just ride a wave of, well, this is the new technology. We're incurring the cost. We're doing the development. We're doing all the research to make sure that this system continues to grow with our members and that they get the rewards from it. This is not a us system. This is a system to help out copywriters who are making sure that their business is going to thrive in this uncertain times.
100%. Okay. Thanks everybody. We're at the hour and I want to respect that. I always want you to have a predictable amount of time to spend with us on a Friday. So thank you very much for all these great questions. Thanks for sharing and the excitement about this with us. Please keep sending your questions. We will absolutely keep you updated. If you're a member, you'll be the first to hear about any of this. If you're not a member, I'll be screaming it from the rooftops that you need to join because it's the only way to have this capability. And like Rob said, it's in the spirit of CopyChief since day one. We are all in this together. We have each other's back. Let's be better, smarter, stronger together. And all that all these advancements are doing is making that more powerful. And man, it's moving fast. It's only going to get more exciting. Rob, thank you for everything, my brother. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate it.
Have a great weekend. I'll see you in there. Bye.